for tuning in to the Unaffiliated Creators Podcast. I'm your host, K.A. Everyday. It's your boy, K. So I wanted to start off by saying happy anniversary to the Unaffiliated Creators Podcast. It's been 2 years, y'all. So on November the 22nd of 2022, that's when this podcast started. So it's been 2 years. So I'm going into season three reloaded. So before I get too far down the yellow brick road, please go follow, like, subscribe, reshare, retweet, all of that good stuff. Appreciate all of y'all out there, all my fans that's been supporting the podcast. So I wanted to let y'all know that there's going to be some new things coming in season 3. So there's going to be a series with my friend / business partner, Prince from Angry Hearts Deluxe. We're going to be talking about the power of AI when it comes to the regards of the music industry and how it's going to affect the music industry. We're not only going to talk about the power of AI, but we're also going to use real life examples while we're on the podcast so you can see in real time what we're talking about as far as the power of AI and how you can use these AI tools when it comes to making music, songwriting, making beats and stuff like that. And then I also want to let y'all know that I'm seriously thinking about branching out, and I might start interviewing other segments of the entertainment industry, like sports athletes, professional athletes, NFL players, stuff like that, actors and people like that. In season 3, I'm going to also start allowing music artists to promote on the podcast. So let me go ahead and turn this on so y'all can see what I'm talking about. All right, now it's on. So like I said, I'm going to start allowing music artists to promote on the podcast. So let me move out of the way so y'all can see that sign behind me. All right. So the sign behind me. So the info would be displayed on this sign that y'all see behind me in the background. So to all the music artists out there, if you're interested, feel free to hit me up. In season 3, I want to also start breaking exclusive new music. So let me explain what I mean by this. So if you are an artist, send me an exclusive copy of your song, meaning that the song hasn't been put on any DSPs, any streaming services. It hasn't been put on SoundCloud. It hasn't been put on YouTube, etc. And I will play that song during the podcast. And the only way that you're going to be able to hear this song is by listening to that episode of the podcast. So this is something I'm just trying to play around with. I want to see what it does to the algorithm. I want to see what it does to that person's song and how it just affects the overall, the way how we do music. I'm trying to come up with new ways to be disruptive in the music business. I kind of talked about this on the previous podcast, but as independent music artists, we got to keep coming up with creative ways to try to be disruptive, to try to cut through all the red tape, to try to fight against the machine and try to, get our music heard and things like that. Now, to whom this may concern, there have been several music artists that have been confused on what the meaning of indie music artist means. So I want to break this down to y'all. Because on my podcast, I always say the premise of my podcast is independent artists learning from other independent artists. Well, I've had artists want to come on my podcast. They wanted to come on and do an interview with me, but they'll say, hey, man, I want to come on your podcast, but I'm not an indie music artist. So let me break this down. If you're not signed by a major record label, you are an indie music artist. You are an independent music artist. I'm going to say it again for those in the back that didn't hear me the first time. If you are not signed to a major record label, you are indeed an indie music artist. So I just wanted to come up here and explain that so I could clear that up. So if you're a music artist going forward, you don't have to question if you're an indie music artist or not. But I'm also going to, clear the air, and I'm going to make it even more clear. So even though the premise of my podcast is, independent music artists learning from other independent music artists, I'm going to start also interviewing major recording artists as well. I haven't done it in the past. But going forward in the future, like I said, man, season 3, man. So we got to keep progressing this thing. So if the opportunity presents itself, I will indeed do interviews with music artists that are signed to major record labels. So just wanted to put that out there. So again, I just wanted to come on here and thank y'all again for all the support that y'all have given to the Unaffiliated Creators podcast. I couldn't do any of this without y'all. Season 3 is loaded. There's gonna be more interviews, more content, more exclusive music. I'm gonna be interviewing, like I said, entertainment artists, sports figures, people that play sports, major recording artists, and I'm still gonna keep interviewing producers and things like that. And if y'all have anything that y'all might want me to add to the podcast that I haven't already added, like I said, Season 3, so we gotta go big or go home. Y'all just hit me up, let me know, and if it makes sense, I implement it into the podcast. So, just hit me up, DM me, or you could always shoot me an email at unaffiliatedcreatives@gmail.com. I consider what you got going on, and like I said, if it makes sense, I implement it. Again, I appreciate y'all taking time to tune in to the podcast. Y'all be good and stay safe.